We've gone out to all kinds of different groups. So groups like ULI that have a diverse membership, we've said, you pull the group together and we'll come and facilitate. So we've done that. So we've done that in folks that live in transitional housing, for example, downtown. We've done it with student groups, with senior groups. So where people get together and have a natural kind of community, we've gone in and asked them these questions. But we've also gone out to our members through our different committees, safety and security and marketing, and again, a broad section of folks, and get them to weigh in and be engaged in the engagement process. Interesting enough, I would have thought it would have been more focused on the built form, given the ULI and the folks that are in the room, but I was quite interested in the fact that they talked about some of the more ethereal kind of touch and feel and that kind of human interaction piece. So I think people can see beyond that the built form only takes you so far, that it's really the connectivity between the buildings and the built form and how that public space is used. So I think there was a real mixed bag of comments and input here. Our vision is, at the end, again, we're going to come up with a vision for downtown, but not being too prescriptive. But we're going to have some very specific ideas that you can see here. And we hope that it's not our job to take and implement those ideas, but the city might have a role to play, or the construction industry, or the development industry. And they can look at it and say, we also believe in that vision. There's some good specific ideas. We were thinking of doing that. This is affirmation. We're going to take that piece and implement that piece. So people can own the plan and the implementation of the plan when it's done.
We're now at a point in Vancouver where it's sort of it's fundamental to everything we do in a planning sense. It's very much a part of the culture in Vancouver's planning world. I would argue it's also part of the culture of Vancouverites to be more environmentally and socially aware from a sustainability perspective, and therefore sort of respond in kind. So it's part of our lexicon in Vancouver in a way that it isn't in some other places. As consultants and practitioners, engineers or planners or architects or landscape architects, we're very focused on project delivery, 95% of the time. And it's important to step back and come to things like this, whether it's this or some other sort of forum or event, and sort of press pause and reflect and think big picture for a little while, because we're often very focused on the execution of a single building or a single piece of the public realm or a single landscape design. And to take some time to step back and reflect on where we are from a big picture perspective really helps sort of refresh and recharge and sort of balance out your perspective on things. So just from a professional practitioner perspective, I think it's an important thing to do. Stantec, as you see, there was a lot of us here. Stantec's a supporter and sponsor, and I think a founding sponsor, I think, of the ULI, and we're happy to come to this kind of stuff. But the demographic also was such that it tended to be sort of skewed towards the younger end of our staff, and there's a lot of that kind of engagement in what's going on in the community. Like I think the group was interested personally as well as professionally, because every single one of those of our staff that were here live in Vancouver, and most of them live downtown. So I think there's an alignment between personal and professional interest here, and a genuine curiosity about what's happening in our community and what some of those ideas are for changing it. The disconnect between the real estate market, real estate prices, and the local economy in terms of the labor market, that happened a long time ago, but there's so much more momentum behind that now. I think we're going to have to figure out a way around that. Part of the answer is more development and greater density, and also a realignment of expectations around the kind of environment that people are going to be living in. It isn't reasonable to think that you're going to have a single-family home in the city of Vancouver anymore. Not just from an affordability perspective, but from a overall environmental sustainability perspective. That mindset needs to change, and that's not a bad thing. I don't think. I think we need to learn. I think we need to celebrate families in higher density living and start designing our urban environments for families, and we need to change the mindset around what it is to have a home in Metro Vancouver. That's not to say you should have 4 people in 650 square feet, but we've got to decouple sort of expectations around single-family homes from what's actually going to happen on the ground.